No matter if points are gained or points are lost, there will be much to discuss. For analysis regarding tonight's Winnipeg Jets game, here are Dave Manouk, Ezra Ginsburg, and your host, Drew Mandel. The Illegal Curve post-game show, presented by Play Now, the official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets, starts now.
Much to discuss on this Friday night. Not a lot of goals to discuss, but plenty of issues with the Winnipeg Jets performance that we will delve deep into on this edition of the Illegal Curve post-game show, as well as tomorrow morning's edition of the Illegal Curve hockey show. With that in mind, we say good evening, Winnipeg. Good evening, Manitoba. And for all those joining us live this evening on our YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms, we say good evening, universe, and welcome to the Illegal Curve post-game show. Along with Dave Manouk, along with Ezra Ginsburg, I am your host, Drew Mandel, here to discuss a second consecutive Winnipeg Jets defeat. This one at the hands of the San Jose Sharks, 2-1. The Sharks defeat the Winnipeg Jets. They get a late third period goal, and that proves to be the difference in what was a poor performance. No reason to sugarcoat it. A poor performance by the Winnipeg Jets, a game the San Jose Sharks surely deserved to win, and they did so. The Jets' performance was uninspired and sloppy would be two words that I would use to describe the Winnipeg Jets, particularly over the final 40 minutes of tonight's game. I suspect that Jets head coach Scott Arniel is going to be none too pleased when he meets with the media following tonight's contest. You could sort of see him on the bench. Yeah, media, the Jets being the only media on the road trip. No local media made the trip to California on this road trip.
Hence the reason why Cole Perfetti, for the first time practicing in a regular jersey, no questions forthcoming in the media availability after morning skate. So
Mitch could have asked a few questions.
Well, he asked a few questions. He just didn't ask a question that was actually relevant, unfortunately.
Well, he's a company man, so he's not gonna do anything that doesn't meet with what the Masters want him to ask about on any particular day, which I can't blame him about on that front. But that is an example of why it is important to have local media available to ask those questions that the team doesn't want to necessarily have to answer. But that's a separate issue for another day, another time. The Jets tonight, just a poor performance. The first period was okay. First period was a reasonable performance, but then as the game continued,
still Drew.
Yeah, I would agree. They look slow against San Jose. Is a fast team. They're a team, young team, tons of speed. Macklin Celebrini is a great player. Will Smith, real nice young player. This is a team that was without William Eklund, another nice young player that they have in their lineup. Typically, San Jose is a young, fast team. The Jets definitely slower than San Jose. You saw a little bit of that lack of foot speed in the course of tonight's game, but more than that, because the Jets can think their way around the ice faster than a lot of other teams because of that high hockey IQ. You didn't see it tonight. Sloppy, disconnected, disjointed, not the strongest performance we've ever come to expect from the Winnipeg Jets.
Boys, the state of California has not been friendly to these Winnipeg Jets these last two games. They're not off to a great start here on this West Coast trip. And I agree with you, Drew. The Sharks, I kept thinking, Mike Greer deserves a lot of credit here for some of the moves he made, right? You just look at that defense, right? Dmitry Orlov, Stanley Cup champion. Yes, is he towards the end of his career? But he brought him in, and he's brought in players like Jeff Skinner. He's brought in players like Alex Wenberg, right? To insulate, the Celebrinis and the Will Smiths. And another guy that wasn't in the lineup tonight, Drew, was former second overall pick, or I guess he's not former second overall pick, Michael Miza from the 2025 NHL draft. Obviously less impactful than William Eklund because he's only 18 years old. I just kept thinking, guys, if Celebrini's 19 years old now, how good is he going to be when he's 22 or 23? I know the discussion is all about, is he going to be on Team Canada or not? I don't know how you leave him off. He's currently leading the NHL in scoring. And yes, he's only 19 years old, as I just mentioned, but to me, it's almost a no-brainer at this point that he's on Team Canada.
And
Obviously,
the reason, but I think
Yeah, sorry.
Ezzy, I think the reason that if he makes Team Canada, and I don't disagree with you, but I think he's going to make it not because of his offensive prowess, but because of how defensively responsible he is as well.
No,
'Cause he's-
absolutely. You're right, Drew. And he's definitely not a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
This guy is. I mean, you talk about generational players. He's a generational player. Like, yes, that word gets thrown around a little bit too much, but
Thank you.
wow. And he gets a chance early in the game, and it was like a sign of things to come. This guy, like, it's like he's shot out of a cannon when he's on the ice, and his puck skills, his stick handling, incredible. And Will Smith is like a perfect complement too. Really skilled player. Like, these guys are going to put up big points in the NHL for a long time. And just to Drew's point about how the Jets play tailed off, like Dave, the Jets could have had 3 or 4 goals in that first period. During that,
Alex Nedeljkovic was great early in the game for San Jose.
Alex Nedeljkovic was really solid, and you remember when Chibrikov had that 4-minute high sticking penalty, the Jets had 2 good scoring chances on the PK. Lowry had the breakaway, and then Nemesnikov also had a scoring chance. You throw in Nino Niederreiter's chance where Nedeljkovic made the good save. Gabe Velarde had that chance. Like, the Jets' first period was, I would almost say, excellent. Like I said, like I think anybody watching that game would have seen plenty of scoring chances, and then it just all fell apart. And I thought that the Sharks' relentless forechecking pressure really was causing the Jets to do some really stupid things with the puck. We saw turnover after turnover, and it led to extended zone time for the Sharks. And it's like the Jets never fully recovered. I thought, and there was a big chunk of this game that was played at 5-on-5. There was some, if I'm not mistaken, there were no penalties. It was the second period. I don't think there were any penalties, right? And then in the third period, the Jets got a couple of, they got one opportunity when Nedeljkovic tripped. I forget who that was. Kepke.
I think when he went for when he decided, you know what, I'm gonna not go for the empty net. I'm gonna try this move, which I've already tried twice before during the season to get my first goal.
Well, yeah. Like, I just thought that the Jets didn't ever really, and also, guys, I'm still trying to figure out what Scott Arniel did with the lines in the third period.
Well, let's talk about the lines.
It's almost like he threw all the guys' names in a hat and then just put these lines together.
Let's talk about that. Sorry.
And no, we can in a sec. But the only thing I was going to jump in here and say, like, let's also pretend that San Jose is not 2-0-2 coming into today's game. So they've been playing well. Their last 2 games are wins, and it's not as if,
go back even further. They're 5-2-2 in their last 9.
Right. So I'm just saying that it's worth noting. It's not like the Jets beat a team that has not been winning, and so they beat the Devils, who were one of the better teams out east. So I mean, it's not as if, again, they've been playing like crap and they're 20 points back of the Winnipeg Jets. So
no, this Sharks team, Dave, is no joke.
That's what I'm saying. So I think, like, it's worth noting. And you got to credit the goaltender. He kept his team in it when the Jets had opportunities. And then, as I said, it was funny, Drew, right from the outset. I was like, oh, Pionk's with Morrissey. I'm like, okay, that's unusual. And then from there, the blending just kept going. And and then the whole thing was, then you realize right away, the roster, I saw Velarde and it wasn't with his usual line. So lots of changes in the third period.
And, I don't mind it. Scott Arniel has been frustrated, I would say, even more often than not. Look, the Jets, their record is still a good record. They're 9-5 on the season. Mm-hmm. So, the record is solid, but I would say that of those 14 games, less than 50% of them, Scott Arniel has been, I would say, pleased with the performance of the team. They've been winning despite a lot of their performances, which is a good thing. So you see that second period, how it happened tonight. You have a head coach who is, I think, frustrated with his team and their performance through the first 14 games of the season. So I don't mind him saying, look, enough is enough. I need to do something to start this third period to get your attention. I've tried to do it, I'm sure privately. I've tried to do it a little bit in some of the post-game media availabilities. I don't mind him saying, look, what happened in that period cannot be acceptable. So can't bench you all. I don't really think that there was one player in particular in that second period who was deserving of being benched more than others. It's not like there's player X was so horrific that everybody else, that it was so glaring. So what is a coach to do for mid-game adjustments? Is he goes to the blender. When Scott Arniel does it, because he doesn't do it very often, especially a full-scale blender like this, it's noticeable. I don't have a problem with it. Did it work? No, not really. It's not like the Jets were any better in the third than they had been, particularly in the second. But it certainly, I think, is a bit of a kick in the behind to some of the Jets players that the way they played in that middle frame just isn't sufficient. I don't expect that it's all of a sudden going to be. I don't think these are going to be the lines the way the game ended. I don't think that's going to be how they start on Sunday in Anaheim. Very well could be wrong. We'll know more tomorrow. We'll know more on Sunday. But for in-game adjustments, when nothing is working, I don't mind sort of throwing a little bit of a splatter art at the wall, seeing if you end up with a bit of a Picasso. They didn't, but I don't mind the thought behind it.
Well, they went back to the Scheifele, Connor, Velarde line at the end of the third period, right?
Well, so I mean, put your horses out there when it matters most.
Sorry, and we're not going to see these lines, that's for sure. And I think it just took me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that was surprised by the lines, because not only did you see the blender out, it was Scheifele, Connor, Velarde on three different lines, right? Like Connor, Lowry, Nemestikov was the line, and then you had Scheifele, centering, Iafallo, and Niederreiter. Like, I just thought it was very random. And I understand what Scott Arniel was trying to do. I just think he might have gone a little bit too far in.
That's a fair comment too.
Because he like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know how he came up with these lines. Like when if a guy's playing well, you maybe elevate him, right? But like, I didn't really understand what he was trying to accomplish by, like, aside from shaking it up and see if he could get something going. That's all I'm saying, Dave. It just seemed a little bit random at the point in the game, because it was a tie game, right? Going into the third period. It's not like the Jets were losing by 2 or 3 goals. And I actually thought this was one of Gabe Velarde's best games of the year. I just checked the box score. He had 7 shots on net. So he must have had, I don't know how many shot attempts, probably 9 or 10 at least, right? So I like Gabe Velarde's game. I didn't like the Taves Nemesnikov line tonight. I didn't think they were. I mean, we'll get into the Will Smith goal in the play now game recap. Jonathan, I don't know what Jonathan Taves was doing there. If he was just tired.
He did not have a good game tonight.
No, he did not have a good game. And look, I'm not trying to pile on Johnny Taves right now. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just calling it like it is. I just didn't think he was great tonight. Connor, Scheifele, Velarde, I thought they were really good in the first period, and then they weren't very good in the second period. So like Drew said, this was a team loss. This was not,
it wasn't. Connor Hellebuyck doesn't deserve any blame.
well, that's a good point. I mean, Connor Hellebuyck
was fantastic,
excellent tonight. The save on Ty Dellandrea was incredible. And
the save on Celebrini,
he made a number of really good saves.
He gave his team a chance to win, like Frankie Corrado said during the intermission. And that's what Hellebuyck does. When you're a 3-time Vezina winner, that's what you do every single night, right, Dave? I just thought, this was more so the Jets not managing the puck very well and just being overall sloppy and just being overwhelmed by the Sharks' speed.
I think sloppy is a really good way of describing it. I think you're right. Their puck management was atrocious. There was a play in the third period. I mean, they had, think about it, on the 6-on-5. I mean, how many chances did San Jose have to ice the game? They got lucky because they kind of made the Jets, like Morrissey had to make a play, Lowry had to make a play.
They should have iced it immediately, like right off the face-off after they pulled Hellebuyck.
Right.
Like I don't know how they missed it.
That's what I mean. But again, the Jets, out of desperation, really just tried to kill the play. But my point is that the Jets never looked like they were in control. And the reality is they still had a chance to tie the game. But it was like sloppy, and it was like the puck management was awful. It was just awful. Like, there were decisions that were made with the puck. Neil Pionk, they made a couple of decisions. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, look at look at the game-winning goal. I mean, I know it's skipping ahead, but the game-winning goal, it becomes the game-winning goal because of a unnecessary defensive zone turnover. It's where you're making a 2-foot pass, but you're not successfully making it. The Jets just were like, they talked about it on the broadcast. About apparently they were stuck on the tarmac for a long time, but that should be no reason that should be a reason why you maybe start slowly, not because it hasn't been a hefty schedule. You're sitting on a plane, and maybe that's not the best, most comfortable situation. But let's be honest, it's
that doesn't make sense. I'm with Drew there. Like the Jets were clearly, like, we all agree here, guys. This was a good first period, a really good first period for the Jets, where they could have had 3 or 4 goals. And then the second and third period, that's when the Sharks took over the game. Yeah. Right. So that it doesn't really make sense to say like we don't know exactly what happened, how long they were on that plane on the tarmac. We just don't know that. Maybe somebody in the chat or
Kevin said on the broadcast they were on the tarmac for as long as it would take to fly to Europe, right, Dave? That's what you went back and
because I heard
what does that mean? Because where are you flying from to Europe? Like, what does that mean?
Let's assume
as he's breaking it down.
No. I just mean, like, does that mean 2 hours? Does it mean 10 hours?
No, I mean, there's nowhere you're flying for 2 hours as from North America to Europe. But
that's what I'm saying.
9 hours.
Is he talking about Winnipeg to Europe, or is he talking Toronto to Europe?
I just realized my own trivia was wrong, because isn't there that French island that's right in the Atlantic Canada? So
St. Pierre and Miquelon?
Yeah, is that what it is, Drew?
So we've got the scoop from Doug. I don't know who just posted that comment, but Doug says 9 hours. I don't know where Doug's getting that from. But
Tracy said. I didn't hear him say 9 hours. I just heard him say long enough to fly to Europe. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like, sure, that's true. And like we always joke, Drew, saying, is the excuse that when you play back to backs, is it that your first period is going to be good and your third is bad, or is your third is good but your first is bad? It all depends on how the end result is. And the end result was, if not for Connor Hellebuck, that game, and Nedeljkovic was also very good, but if not for Connor Hellebuck, that game could have been a blowout. I mean, the Jets gave up way too many chances, and it's just a function of, like, it's great to win hockey games. It's great to build up a little bit of a buffer, and like I mentioned before that we haven't started the game recap yet, but Cole Perfetti is back wearing a regular jersey. Obviously, that's very important because the Jets are going to get him back, I would imagine, sooner rather than later, possibly on this road trip. And they're going to get some scoring back. They're going to have to hope, because
they need it.
Matter. Well, I was
going
to say,
one goal in the last 6 periods.
That's my point. It doesn't matter how good your goaltending is. Connor Hellebuck right now in the last 2 games is knowing what Eric Comrie dealt with last year, where despite playing well, his team isn't giving him the run support. So that's 2 straight games now where they haven't given him any run support, and it's been hard to. And obviously they were in tonight's game, but there were just too many great A's that they gave up. I think they had, like, scoring chances were like 29-13, and high danger were like 13-7 or something like that. So
exactly right.
Yeah, so it's not a good.
Also, Dave, sorry, this is a good question. Why did they wait until last night? Like, why wouldn't they have flown to San Jose right after the Kings game?
Because they wanted to spend the off day in Los Angeles.
Not even that. I think it's all part of their whole scheduling plan in trying to conserve energy and not get on the plane after a game. So what they do is they just stay in the hotel after the game. They practiced in El Segundo, and then they flew to San Jose.
No, but didn't they have? I thought they had a day off on. Wednesday. They had the day
Wednesday
off.
was the day off.
Wednesday was
Thursday
the day off. Thursday. Yeah, Thursday they practiced.
Drew lost his wallet in El Segundo.
I didn't, but that's funny. Bad performance by the Winnipeg Jets. I mean, they can, I'm sure the players themselves know that was an unacceptable performance. Last 2 games haven't been great, and now they have an Anaheim Ducks team on Sunday that, by the way, is leading the Pacific Division and is scoring touchdowns worth of goals on a nightly basis. So, it's not like it's getting any easier.
Cutter Gauthier, can he settle down?
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll talk more about the Jets and the Ducks and then the remainder of this road trip on tomorrow morning's Illegal Curve Hockey Show. That's 9 a.m. on our YouTube channel, which, lo and behold, is 9 hours and 3 minutes from now somehow. But so that maybe is a good excuse and a good reason for us to dive right into tonight's contest, and that being the Play Now game recap.
The Play Now game recap.
Don't bet on illegal sites. Bet with Play Now instead. Manitoba's local, legal, and secure gambling site. 18 plus. enjoy responsibly. We remind you that until April 17th, earn a $5 sports bonus bet for each Jets power play goal when you place a qualifying same game parlay wager on a Jets regular season game. For more information, check it out online, playnow.com. Big thanks to Play Now for their continued support of the Illegal Curve hockey broadcast. The Jets did open the scoring in this game. We talked about it. They were good. They were the better of the two teams early on, particularly in the opening minutes, the opening 10 minutes. I would
I
suggest.
was gonna say not the opening minute. The opening minute, Drew, the Sharks came out
3-0
flying.
the Sharks had, yeah.
I was gonna say shots were very much in the favor of the. And to be honest with you, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like, remember, as folks will remember, a few years back when Connor Hellebuck had that 51
saves.
save.
Yeah.
Was it 60 saves? I thought it was 51, but anyways,
It was one or the other.
yeah. Anyways, he had that 50+ save. Let's put it that way. Game in San Jose, and it was like, ooh, it's gonna be one of those again. And San Jose looked really fast, and the Jets looked really slow. But they got it going. They got it
going after that opening minute. The Jets, then took over a lot of that first period. There you had multiple scoring opportunities where, you watched at home. They did open the scoring, but there was that opportunity that Nino Niederreiter had where you're like, how did he not score there?
That was nuts. That save by Nedeljkovic was insane.
That was an insane save. Just, somehow getting the absolute smallest skate blade on it to keep it going.
Gabe Velarde's skate blade.
No, not Gabe Velarde's skate blade, which is still, I think, on the ice somewhere in San Jose. But, anyways, the Jets had plenty of opportunities to open the scoring before they actually did. They did it so at the 12:34 mark of the first period. Josh Morrissey, his second assist to Nino Niederreiter off of a face-off win. Niederreiter kicks the puck back to Morrissey, and then Morrissey just blasted past Nedeljkovic. A nice shot by Josh Morrissey. A lot of traffic in front of Nedeljkovic, and the Jets get their due rewards by getting a 1-0 lead after they had been the better of the two teams for a good, let's say 8 or 10 minute stretch in that first period.
Drew, you're 100% right about the Jets deserving this goal after not only having the Niederreiter chance, but those chances shorthanded, like we talked about. I really liked, I know Dave is kind of the resident illegal curve penalty kill guy, but the penalty kill was great. I thought, San Jose's got some dangerous weapons out there, and I liked how they stayed within their structure, and it led to Lowry getting that chance and Mesnikov getting a chance. But in this goal, this is just a good face-off win and a really nifty way for Niederreiter to get that puck back to Morrissey, kicking it. Maybe that's his Swiss soccer roots. I'm not sure if he played soccer when he was younger, but I wouldn't be surprised. And Morrissey, just how many times, guys, have we seen Morrissey? He's one of the better guys in the league, in my opinion. I think Cale Makar's up there. I think, Neil Pionka's pretty good at it as well, but just getting those shots through to the net, right? And that's what happens here. And I'm not sure if Nedeljkovic didn't see it a little bit because it was a well-placed shot. But certainly, this was a pretty just nice shot by Morrissey, and the Jets got rewarded after somehow not scoring on all those good opportunities we talked about before that.
Yeah, exactly. 1-0 for the Jets at that point. And to their credit, they continue to have offensive zone time after the proverbial what do they call it? The bounce back shift or whatever the euphemism they use on the broadcast all the time. The Jets continue to pour it on. It's just a very sort of not even unfortunate play. It's a really nice play by Tyler Toffoli, and it's actually it's just a large rebound that goes right onto Toffoli's stick. So it's Morrissey again with a shot from the point. The Jets have good zone time. The Jets are pressing against San Jose. Morrissey with a shot from the point that quickly rebounds onto the stick of Tyler Toffoli, who just turns and headbands it up the ice to Macklin Celebrini, who's in all alone. You see Morrissey trying to get back to get there to break it up, but you're not catching Celebrini from behind, unless your name is maybe Connor McDavid or something like that. Josh Morrissey is a great skater, but Celebrini's that much faster, and he tucks it behind Connor Hellebuck on the breakaway, Dave, to make it 1-1. This coming at the 13:46 mark a minute and 12 seconds after the Jets open the scoring, as it looks like they're going to maybe have an opportunity to increase the lead. Instead, what happens is the puck goes the other way, and it's now 1-1. Nice play by Celebrini. Unfortunate for the Winnipeg Jets, but I don't love how Dylan DeMello plays this by sort of still being at the Jets' blue line, even though Celebrini is sort of already starting to cheat on this play and be ready for it. I just thought the communication between Morrissey and DeMello, which is usually pinpoint, was a little bit off on this one that allowed Celebrini to get in behind the Jets defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, right? Because the Jets have the zone and they're getting some zone time, right, Ezzy? And they're moving the puck well, and they've just built, scored a goal, so you're expecting them to kind of continue to push, as Drew just said, and instead, just one of those plays. I mean, you got to credit Tyler Toffoli. I mean, he's clearly not as fast as he used to be. Well, not that he was not ever anything that I would reference as speed demon by any stretch of the imagination, but smart play by him. He knows he knows the kind of player and the kind of explosiveness Macklin Celebrini plays with. And I just thought it was funny because today TSN had a video with who was it? Gino Retta and
Mark
Frankie
Denis?
Corrado. What?
With like Mark, the one they showed during the first intermission with Mark Denis?
I don't know. No, I think it was Frankie Corrado, where he basically they were talking about basically like how can the Jets stop Macklin Celebrini, and I was like, so I embedded the video and I said, here's an idea, don't give him a breakaway. And it was.
Were you talking about your tweets right now?
No, I wasn't. I was talking about something that was on TSN, Ezzy. But
you referenced the tweet.
I did technically
that featured something that was on TSN.
Otherwise, you usually call it X. You don't usually call it tweets. But
I texted that Macklin Celebrini is ridiculously good.
Yeah, no, I mean he is ridiculously good, and yeah, it's just an unfortunate bounce. And you're right, Drew. It's probably one where the D needs to recognize that where he's going. You have to be aware of where he is on the ice at all times, and clearly the Jets, while they wanted to, I mean, he's just an explosive player who has the ability to get away from. I mean, Josh Morrissey isn't exactly slow. And he was not able to keep up. So, yeah, it's a really nice play. It's an unfortunate play because even if you weren't, whatever you were feeling, you had the 1-0 lead, and now you're tied 1-1.
Yeah,
I know what Drew's saying there, though. It is a very unique set of circumstances that the rebound comes out like that. Toffoli, and credit Toffoli. And Dave, you can tell that they've done this before. I obviously have not been watching a ton of Sharks games, but as soon as he sees Celebrini take off, Toffoli, that happened in a split second, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he paused and thought, oh, maybe Celebrini. That happened very quickly.
It's almost like Celebrini has the permission and has the green light to go. It's like he's got the green light. If you see an opportunity to break the zone, you do it, and we'll deal with the ramifications if it blows up in our face a little bit.
No, 100%, Drew. And what I was going to say is yes, could have DeMello. Could he have, soon as he saw Celebrini, could he have backed up? I just don't know if he would have caught him. I really don't think. I don't think DeMello, because Morrissey, at one point, and they mentioned this on the broadcast. And I'm just watching the replay. Morrissey is an excellent skater. We know that, and he's neck and neck with Celebrini, and Celebrini kind of just beats him. But Morrissey's there the whole time. It's not like Morrissey's 10 feet behind him or something. Yeah. That's just crazy. I think to Dave's point, I was bugging Dave about what the TSN bit. It basically, you can't leave Celebrini. You can't give him any time and space. That's basically what it is.
You need to have somebody shadowing him.
Exactly. He's that good. It's the same thing as Connor McDavid. Celebrini is I'm not going to say he's as good as Connor McDavid, but
he's as explosive.
He's as explosive. He's as talented. I mean, are any of us going to be surprised if Celebrini hits 100 points this year? I won't.
At this point, I'll be surprised if he doesn't. He's already at 23 points, and it's game number. It's game number 14 for San Jose, 15. So he's well on pace for that, certainly. Anyways, again, it's not an egregious error. It's not an egregious error by any stretch. It's actually more fortuitous for San Jose than it is anything. It's just, it's a good shot by Morrissey. I think it looks like it goes into the scrum and almost ricochets off of it. I think it's Parker Ford who's getting net front presence. So it's not egregious. In fact, there was a far more egregious plays by the Winnipeg Jets in the course of today's game. It's just an unfortunate one, and that the San Jose Sharks are able to take advantage of to have the game knotted up at 1 goal apiece, which is where it ended after the first 20 minutes of play. Second 20 minutes of play, third 20 minutes of play in the third period, totally different games.
Maybe we don't mention those to the coach.
Well, I mean, I saw what Scott O'Neill said post game. Maybe we can say it now or we can leave it for out.
You may as well say it now.
Say it now. Yeah. It's a late night and it's an early morning with the Illegal Curve Hockey Show at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Dave is disappearing too.
Scott O'Neill was asked post game on 680 CJOB. Kelly Moore is going to join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to talk about the Winnipeg Jets. So there you go. Kelly, of course, is the Jets game host on CJOB. So Scott O'Neill was asked by Paul Edmonds what he saw in tonight's game. Quote from the Winnipeg Jets head coach: "A terrible game for the Winnipeg Jets." So you could tell he was frustrated. You saw it with the line juggling. There you go. No, not sort of tiptoeing through the tulips or anything. The Jets head coach saying in no uncertain terms, quote, "A terrible game for the Winnipeg Jets." I mean, he could have said a terrible 40 minutes for the Winnipeg Jets, and I don't think anybody would have argued. But the message is loud and clear from the Jets head coach that what he saw tonight from his players was not sufficient, as we all expected and as we all know.
No, absolutely. And in my notes I had Taves had a behind the net pass to Nemestikov, and there was a 2-on-1 for Velarde. But this was early in the second period. The first, I mean, it wasn't a good period at all in every aspect of the game. We already talked about it, the turnovers.
Yeah.
Just lack of any. There were no penalties. It was all 5-on-5, and it was just the Sharks took over the game. Yeah. Simply put, right? Like the Celebrini, Smith, Toffoli line was obviously really good. And the Jets I don't know what it was, why there was that lapse in their game. But following the LA game, which obviously wasn't a beauty, that's what I think Arneal is probably the most upset about, is that they couldn't follow up a solid first period with a good second period. Well, and then the third period, that's when the line juggling happened and everything like that, and they just didn't find any chemistry with those lines.
Yeah, and I was just going to add, because Bob's videos threw it up there, and one of the biggest criticisms that Scott Arneal has had all season long has been the way his team has played in second periods, and I mean, how many games can we point to this season? The Jets are 9-5. We'll acknowledge that, of course. Great goaltending already through 14 games. How many games have they not played a complete 60 minutes? They've won them still sometimes. Sometimes they've lost. But the fact of the matter is there's been a lot of games where they don't play the entirety of the hockey game. Can't do that. And sure, I mean, look, I'm not going to blame Adam Lowry. I thought he had, again, some chances, and he's missed. He hasn't played hockey in 6 months. So you give him a little time to kind of get his legs under him, right, Ezzy, and get back.
I thought Lowry was much better tonight, actually.
Yeah,
well,
but I'm saying
the hit he leveled on Timothy Liljegren in the third period. I mean, he steamrolled him.
Yeah.
I mean, he just absolutely drove him into the boards. I mean, totally clean hit, but that was a man smashing up against. I mean, Liljegren's been around this league for a while, but he's never been thought of as a particularly physical player.
No.
And that was a large body check on Timothy Liljegren.
Yeah, so I think you're going to give him a little bit of latitude to kind of, or leeway, I should say, to get back into kind of game shape. And like I said, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of guys who are not, and this, I mean, it's across the board. You can't, I mean, this coach said it the right way. I mean, that was not Winnipeg Jets hockey. They looked disconnected. I called them Ezzy, and I think that's probably an appropriate way, especially with how atrocious some of their defensive plays, even though it's, again, some of these didn't result in goals, but they resulted in grade A chances against your goaltender. So I mean, that's not a good thing when you are trying to be a team that is considered upper echelon.
Yeah. I want to make mention of one play. It came in the second period with about 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go. It would have resulted in a tap-in goal for Macklin Celebrini if it wasn't for Nino Niederreiter, who came back hard on a back check. Celebrini was just at the far post, just, basically uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
And the pass almost made it all the way through. But Nino Niederreiter was on his horse and got there and intercepted the pass and really snuffed out what would have been a clear-cut scoring opportunity for the San Jose Sharks. It was a heads-up hockey kind of play, which means it's brought to you by our friends at Wheatland Hockey, online at wheatlandhockey.ca. They're building skills, character, and excellence on and off the ice, a fresh approach to youth hockey and development. There's programs for absolutely everybody. And the best part is they are A1 people running these programs. Check them out online. Illegal Curve approved. That's wheatlandhockey.ca.
I played A1 hockey 1 year. Just 1 year.
How'd that go for you?
Good.
Yeah. And then you brought a bottle of A1 steak sauce onto the ice and started eating a steak. And that was the end of your career.
Varsity View Falcons, baby. A1.
Oh, Varsity View, but you grew up in River Heights.
Yeah, sometimes they had to combine
I know,
areas.
But they would think, but that was a thing. I mean, I
was always a River Heights Cardinal, Drew. I don't know if you ever played Sir John Franklin.
I was a Sir John Franklin Explorer.
Yeah, because sometimes they would have most of my hockey was A3. Right. So I played River Heights A3, but then the A2 team would be Sir John. Yeah. But I never played Sir John. But Sir John
guy.
People in Winnipeg, or even people outside of Winnipeg, know the best outdoor ice was always Sir John Franklin.
No
right,
question.
Dave?
Please, I'm a West Kildonan Cougar. You leave your fancy South End rinks to yourselves. We had ruts in our rink, and we were happy to have those ruts in our rink.
They matched your skates. It was perfect.
Those,
you had ruts
those
in your
ruts
skates
build
ruts
character, right, Dave?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Toe picking all over the place. That's just a way of getting a little bit stronger on the ice.
Bullets whizzing by.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Anyways, second period, no damage. Better period for the Sharks than the Winnipeg Jets. Far better period. The line blender came out in the third. We touched on that earlier on in the third period. Earlier on in the post-game show, we touched on the line blender. Talk about more of that tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. on the Illegal Curve Hockey Show. If it wasn't for Connor Hellebuck, this game would have been multiple goal lead for the San Jose Sharks far earlier than when they ended up taking the 1 goal lead. He made the save on Celebrini on the breakaway. There was the great save in the second period on Ty Dellandrea. There was the shorthanded breakaway by Barclay Goodrow.
Yep.
That one was a huge save.
Two-time Stanley Cup champion, Barclay Goodrow.
2-time Stanley Cup champion. Yeah, absolutely. The Jets took a couple of penalties. Cole Koepke choosing not to shoot into an empty net, which was sort of, I don't know what the thought process there. Honestly, I think that he's been he's had a lot of good scoring opportunities and a lot of good scoring chances this year. I wonder if he's a little in his head when it came to this one, because this one should have been instinctual. You had an open cage.
Should have shot that one.
You gotta
shoot the
shoot
puck.
that puck.
Whatever the dipsy doodle that, yes, it led to a penalty on Nedeljkovic. Yeah, it led to a penalty, but that's a golden opportunity to snipe that puck and give your team
and to give
lead.
your team a 2-1 lead when you in the third period, and you're not really deserving of the win. So I mean, it's critical. It's critical. It's a big mistake by the Jets, but I mean, it wasn't the only mistake. If we could point to that and say that was the only mistake of the game, Ezzy, that'd be one thing. But he's one of many who made some critical errors in this game.
Well, so the critical error that leads to the game-winning goal is, the fault. I would say, there's plenty of blame to go around. So it's not specifically.
It's not a good play by Pionk.
It's not a good play by Pionk. He gets the puck on his stick. He's got Hayden Fleury a foot away from him, and somehow they managed to not connect on a simple pass. And instead, Philip Kurashev, gets the puck, and he picks up the loose puck and says, "Thank you very much." It results in a goal-mouth scramble where the puck, again, ricochets off of Neil Pionk and is sitting in the blue paint. Connor Hellebuck is flailing, trying doing everything in his power to keep the puck out of his net. But Will Smith is there. I still don't like that he wears number 2, but I'll get over it at some point. Will Smith is there to bang it into the net. San Jose, with 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go, they have a well-deserved 2-1 lead at this point in time. Again, it's an unforced defensive zone turnover that ends up in the back of your net, and you sort of felt like it was going to be something that was inevitably going to occur given how poorly the Jets played the final 40 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Jets had just cleared the zone. Like the Sharks had pressure, and then the Jets clear the zone, and then the Sharks come back in. And again, like Neil Pionk's had a great season to date. I'm not going to just but you got to point out that it's not a good decision by Neil Pionk, right? Like I think you could see what he was trying to do, but it was just he basically just put the puck there for the Sharks to it was like the Sharks were like, thanks, we'll take the puck now and we'll make a play and score a goal, right? Like it was
a missed connection with Hayden Fleury. I mean, it's
exactly it's so I mean it's obvious, right? Like it's when we break down these goals, like sometimes we'll say the coaching staff, Scott Arniel, Marty Johnston, whoever, they're not going to have to tell Neil Pionk here what happened. I mean, Neil Pionk knows what happened here, and it's like, again, when there's what was there, 4.5 minutes left, something like that. When there's that much time left, you just can't do that. I mean, you can't do that. And Hellebuck is there, and the puck is on the goal line, and it's a crappy goal. Let's be honest, guys. It wasn't a pretty goal.
No.
But again, this was just like another example. Like I don't know if we mentioned this. Remember Nikita Chibrikov had the giveaway, Dave? I think that was in the second period. I'm trying to remember. That's why I take notes here. I think you guys do as well. I know Drew does. Dave, I think it's just all in his mind. But
no, that's why I tweet.
Yeah, that's why you tweet. But yeah, I've got my notes here. But I don't know who had the scoring chance. But I remember Chibrikov coughed up the puck in his own zone, right? So it was just again, this is the what makes the Jets. This is not what makes the Jets successful.
Right.
And we're not taking away anything from the San Jose Sharks, because the Sharks are a talented team. We've already gone over that. I mean, this is an up-and-coming team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year, but I definitely think that they're going to be
I don't think they're going to go away quietly, though.
No, I agree with you, Drew. I just don't know if in that division, I see
enough.
them necessarily getting a spot.
But they've crawled back from that terrible start to the season.
No, it's true. It's true. And look, of all the teams we've watched this year, the Sharks are one of the most exciting teams to watch, and that's just because of Macklin Celebrini. Sorry, that's not just because of Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. I really do think Mike Greer, another guy you mentioned there, Drew, Kurashev.
Yeah,
he had a 50-point season a few years back with the Hawks.
He looked fast out there on the ice today.
Well, and that's why I think Mike Greer deserves credit for assembling a respectable team. Last year, they were not respectable. The Sharks were a joke last year. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no question about it.
This year, they're not an easy out. So, yeah, it's a bad turnover. It was just a sloppy game, Dave. Yeah. And they're gonna have to turn this up, because Anaheim's a good team too. Anaheim's first place in the division, as Drew mentioned. So, they're gonna have to put together 3 good periods, not 1 good period, not 2 good periods, 3 good periods.
The other person who deserves a lot of credit for this goal is Jonathan Toews. I mean, he does not play this well, even from the entry right to the end. I mean, look, you have Pionk, and Velarde doesn't do it either, because, I mean, look, you have Pionk and Fleury who both chase behind the net. So you have 2 defensemen now who have abandoned the front of the net to go behind the net. And yet somehow you have Toews, Velarde, and Pearson, and yet they're there, but they don't do anything.
Smith and Celebrini beat them both.
That's what I mean. And so I'm saying, and Toews just didn't look like he had an ounce of energy to do anything. He couldn't.
He was at the end. It was at the end of a shift, but still, I mean,
I get it, but I'm just saying, from when the puck came in and it came loose, he just kind of threw, basically was waving his stick at it. He wasn't doing anything, and he wasn't getting a man. And yeah, I mean, look, that was the evidence of slow versus fast, right? I mean, Velarde, Pearson, and Toews is not by any stretch of the imagination a line that has an ounce of speed, and it's a questionable choice, because it's not like you have last change. So you know that you're not necessarily going to get the lineup matches you like, and especially if you knew that you had difficulty yesterday and you thought that could somehow impact you. I don't know. Like I said, that's necessarily a line you want to run with. But so yes, while Neil Pionk definitely deserves his fair share of lumps of coal on this play, there are other guys who were just as guilty as in not preventing it from happening. And it's unfortunate in the sense that, like, while the Jets didn't deserve to win this game, yeah, Connor Hellebuck deserved to based on the way he played in that game. So you feel, again, he's very much in that Eric Comrie mold of deserve to win, yes, run support, no. Therefore, goaltender does not get the win.
2-1, San Jose Sharks defeat the Winnipeg Jets tonight. When we come back on the Illegal Curve post-game show, we'll preview and tee up tomorrow morning's Illegal Curve
Just
hockey
posted
show.
that comment, Dave.
Yeah,
And then
we will. Oh, that's good. You guys are just, you're just tripping over each other to keep posting comments. We'll tee up tomorrow morning's Illegal Curve hockey show, and we'll tell you about 3 illiterate guys and 1 guy who wrote a book. That news is coming up next as well. So stay tuned for more of the Illegal Curve post-game show. Drew Mandel, Dave Manouk, Ezra Ginsburg. That's the book in question. We'll tell you all.
Is that a book about this show?
Up. No, it's not. We'll tell you about a book. We'll tell you about what's happening with that book next Friday. It's the Illegal Curve post-game show now on a Saturday morning.
I want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling site instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
Do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
Dining, entertainment, parking, and convenience, all in one spot. City Place is located in the heart of downtown Winnipeg, attached to the Canada Life Centre. Whether you're working, living, or out for a night in the downtown, make City Place your go-to destination before or after the fun finds you. Lunchtime, game time, anytime. Visit City Place at 333 St. Mary Avenue, next to Canada Life Centre.
Boys, I've made an important life decision, and I need your support.
Oh boy.
I've decided to get a grill.
You mean a barbecue grill for cooking? Like, that's not an important life decision, Ezzy.
No. A grill for my teeth.
A grill for your teeth? Do I even want to know why you're doing this?
It's simple, really. Every time I go to Holt Dental, I get treated so very well by Dr. John and his team that I need to keep finding additional reasons to go back. I rely on Holt Dental for all of my dental needs, and they do it all, from regular cleanings to cosmetic dentistry. Plus, they have free parking at their front door, and you know how much I love my convenient parking.
For all your dental needs, Illegal Curve recommends Holt Dental, conveniently located on Taylor Avenue near Grant Park Mall. For more information, visit them online at holtdental.ca.
Guys, big news. You know how I'm always misplacing my cool stuff? Well, Big Daddy has a new hobby, labeling.
Labeling is your new hobby.
You got it. Ever since I discovered Label Daddy's washable labels, I just can't stop labeling. I'm labeling water bottles, hockey sticks, cereal boxes, roast chickens, team jerseys. Everything deserves a label.
I can think of a label or two for you.
Best part is that Label Daddy is the only label company officially licensed by the NHL. So my labels are personalized and can have the Jets logo on them. Just search NHL on the Label Daddy website.
For almost 2 decades, Label Daddy has been helping people to not lose their stuff. It's the most affordable insurance policy around.
For customized, washable, peel and stick labels with no ironing or sewing required, visit labeldaddy.com and search NHL for the label pack belonging to your favorite team.
For over 40 years, Rumors Restaurant and Comedy Club has been Winnipeg's home for stand-up comedy. Renowned in the comedy world as a must-play venue, Rumors has recently been named Canada's top comedy club and a top 5 comedy club in North America. From birthday parties to date nights to fundraisers, wedding socials, and everything in between, Rumors is your destination for the best live entertainment Winnipeg has to offer. For information on upcoming shows, Rumors' incredible promotions, and to purchase show tickets, visit rumorscomedyclub.com.
At Boston Pizza, a fast lunch doesn't have to mean fast food. Now you can get a $15 lunch served in just 20 minutes, including your choice of a main, side, and drink. That's right, lunch for $15 at your local Boston Pizza.
Shortly before 12:30 in the morning, welcome back to the Illegal Curve post-game show. I'm going to try and make this a little bit bigger. Maybe we can see it here on the screen. That didn't work nearly as well as I'd hoped, but
you can read it, Drew. Use your words.
Okay, I'll use my words. In any event, what's happening is James Duffy, you know James, of course, from being the anchor of all the TSN programming, is going to be in Winnipeg next Friday. He's going to be with our friends at McNally Robinson, the Grand Park Shopping Center, talking about his new book, Certified Beauties, More of Hockey's Greatest Untold Stories. And as he's holding the book up there, and he's going to be in conversation with the three of us. So join us next Friday night. That's Friday, November the 14th, 7 p.m. at McNally Robinson.
A night with the curves.
Exactly. For a conversation between the three of us who don't know how to read and James Duffy, a guy who just wrote a book. It makes perfect sense. So if somebody's going to read Ezzy the book between now and Friday, so that'll be perfect.
He's got one of those pens that reads the words for him.
Oh, excellent. Then he can paraphrase what he learns and tell it to Dave and I. And then
I'm just there to sign books, Drew.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be signing. And for the record, I'm not just signing James's book. I'm going to sign every book in McNally. So
you're just going to go around and just start signing any book.
Dave, are you going to sign it in your own name, or are you going to learn James Duffy's signature?
Well, I'm going to learn the signatures of the respective writers that I'm signing their books. But yeah, I'll try and sign as many books as I can.
That's very reasonable of you. Anyways, we encourage you all, if you're looking for something to do next Friday night, we're going to be there at
Grey Cup weekend.
Robinson. What's that? Grey Cup weekend. That's right.
So.
That's why James will be in town, or it coincides with James coming to town. Speaking of coming into town, our guest on tomorrow morning's Illegal Curve Hockey Show, our good friend O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill. He's going to be in Winnipeg next weekend as well, along with the guys from TSN 1050 Overdrive. I'm pretty sure their show is not going to be simulcast on TSN 1290, however, but that's okay. The guys from Overdrive are going to be in Winnipeg broadcasting live as part of the Grey Cup festivities, and O-Dog, our good friend Jeff O'Neill, will be on the show with us tomorrow morning. He's going to join us at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Our buddy Kelly Moore from 680 CJLB, he's going to join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and the show is going to start at 9 a.m., which is 8.5 hours from now. So I'm going to ask you both for a quick final thought, and then we're going to wrap this and move on to tomorrow morning and the Illegal Curve Hockey Show.
Yeah, final thought. I'm going to give one final thought about the Jets game, and then one final thought about Certified Beauties, the book signing that we're going to be part of. Tonight's game was
one final thought, not two final thoughts.
Tonight I'm excited.
You can have mine. It's fine.
Put it this. No, Dave. I want your final thought too. It's going to be more articulate than mine. Tonight's game was not good enough for the Jets, and yes, I echo what Dave said earlier, that Cole Perfetti coming back into a regular contact jersey is a good sign. We're not sure if he's going to play against Anaheim. I don't know, Dave, if that's even a possibility. No. But regardless, I don't think it will be, I was going to say. But the reality is he could come back later on this road trip. But for the time being, without Perfetti in the lineup, the Jets got to tighten up their bootstraps and play some better hockey, because that was a great first period. But the second and third periods left a lot to be desired. So very disappointed, even though San Jose is a good young team. I was disappointed in how the Jets played tonight, and not that the Jets care about me, but they certainly care about what Scott Arniel has to say, and Scott Arniel was disappointed. So I'm expecting a lot better effort next game on Sunday against Anaheim.
Okay, Dave M., you can have something real quick if you want to touch quickly on anything under the sun. Maybe save the Moose for tomorrow. We'll do a little bit more of an extended Moose talk in tomorrow morning show.
I was just going to say, if you want to get your merch orders in, IC Merch, I said the link is in the chat right now. So if you want to get it in, remember you only have till November 17th. So less than 10 days to get your order in. So make sure you submit one. And if you want the IC merch, you can look like Ezzy. Look at that fancy hat that he's wearing right now on display. Mm-hmm. So there'll be some good stuff. And if you want to get a chance to order it, got to get it in before the 17th. So, and it will be ready before Christmas. So, or Hanukkah or whatever whatever holiday you celebrate.
There you go. Check it out, of course, online as well, illegalcurve.com. If you can't find the link in the chat, go to the website, illegalcurve.com, and you'll be able to find the link. Big thanks to all of you for joining us on this late night edition, early morning edition of the Illegal Curve post-game show. We appreciate it. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. They make the Saturday show, the post-game show, and the website a possibility. That's our friends at Rumors Restaurant and Comedy Club, Play Now, Holt Dental, City Place, Wheatland Hockey, Boston Pizza, and of course our friends at Label Daddy as well. Support these fine businesses because of their continued support of Illegal Curve Hockey. Plenty more post-game coverage to come on the website, illegalcurve.com. We'll see you back here on the YouTube channel in 8.5 hours' time. So go get some rest. Make sure your coffee's brewed. We'll see you very shortly. For Dave Manouk, for Ezra Ginsburg, I'm your host, Drew Mandel. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. This has been the Illegal Curve Hockey Show. We wish you good night or good morning and good luck.